Hello, hello. All right, so we are continuing our experience with Eisner Week, and this is a free short little video that we're going to do dedicated to some of my or one of my favorite things that Eisner would do with his work. If you notice that I'm on a kind of a different looking environment here. We had to shift gears and switch over to the home office today. And I wanted to kind of take a look at the word art that's used in the Spirit comics. And I happen to have one right here. One thing that was really cool about the Spirit books is he would investigate different ways to introduce you to the story each week. Here's the title for the story itself, and there's the name of the book and the credit. And let's just zip ahead here. This is one of the old kitchen sink books. Let's see. Here's another one. Into the Light. Right? And there's our title and our credit. Let's find another one. Well, this is not for the Spirit stories, but Life on Another Planet, and that's kind of cool. But I want to stick with the Spirit stories for sure. This is not the Spirit. I don't have the room that I thought I had. Here we go. Here's another one. There's no title. Oh, yeah, there's our title right there, The Perfect Crime. Right? But that logo's changing every story that we jump into. Oh, Wally Wood, folks. Hold on. There's Mission to the Moon, where it looks like this cool file folder. But oh my gosh, let's just take a look. This is when Wally Wood was jumping in and working on some of the artist chores for a little bit. Oh, fantastic. So this we've got another. Let me move this stuff over just a touch. Here's another one of those kitchen sink books, and let's take a look and see. There's our story title, Mr. Dusk. And there's our title, kind of cascading downward here. Let's see if we should be able to find another one pretty quickly here. There's our title. And there's our story name here. Anytime that, here's a reprint of the color, right? So there's the word art for the title of the story. Sorry, for the Spirit logo, I should say. But I don't see a title for this particular story. Man, it's blurry. I love it too. That is not the Spirit. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to work on some word art ourselves, so we can come up with a unique look. I don't think there's another Spirit story in this book. Nope. All right, so good. We're going to move on anyway. So it's always good to keep a little sketchbook around and think about using a ballpoint pen. This way we're not going to commit to anything crazy. We talk about Brenda often enough during my classes. She has her own set logo. But I have a story that I want to tell called The Tumblin' Rock. All right. And the Tumbling Rock is actually a game that her fellow Horde community plays. It's part of their legacy and part of their heritage, right? And it's basically like football, right? It's prehistoric football. And I like creating letters, sound effects for my pages. So I tend to, I'm very interested in creating the sound effects by hand. Now, if you struggle with handwriting, these are great tools for us. Getting the old Sharpie out, and watch what I do here. I'm going to take that highlighter and I'm going to write the tumbling, and I'm going to go big here, rock. And I like to collide my letters. I like them to kind of hit each other. That's kind of a signature thing that I tend to do. If you look at the comics that you enjoy the lettering on, you may see that the sound effects kind of collide with each other there. So, and like I said, this is a great cheat. So if you're not too familiar with doing lettering, once I'll do the highlighter, then I'll go over and trace the contour. Now, because of the chisel tip on that highlighter, I can actually trace over, and I'm rushing a little bit, so it's not going to be perfect, but I can probably hide a lot of the mistakes. And what's cool is it's an embellished version of my handwriting, right? And I'm just going over and tracing the contours of the marker. And I'm kind of letting the chaos of the line that I did the marker lines with, I'm kind of letting them get their way, right? I'm going around the contours where that fun stuff is happening. So you see where it could collide right here. So this is a nice, fun, cheap way to do some fun lettering for our story. And I didn't put a dot there for the eye, so I'll draw that in. But everything else I'm staying pretty true to. And then we're going to talk about what to do next. So I'm going to go just thicken up those lines. And I'm just working in ballpoint pen here. If I was doing something a little bit more permanent, I would use the good stuff. But because I'm just thinking visually, I'm not worried about perfection yet. Yeah, I'm bumping up the line weight a little bit because I want it to look consistent. I want to be able to pull my head back and say, all right, I like the way this looks. And now this will be fun. So, and this is for a short story that I have got already blue lined up and ready to go. It's just one of the myriad of stories that I have to have inked. I'm going to leave that O alone. And I'm going to put a little notch down there to show that it's the end of the letter C. And then here's our giant K. Right? It looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think so, considering we're just blitzing through this. Now, we said that the Tumbling Rock was basically was based on football. It's like a prehistoric take of football. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw what? I'm going to draw a stone here, and it's going to sit in the grass, and I'm going to shade it, and I'll come out of it with some, who knows, whatever kind of interesting shadow concept. Put a little line up at the top. You get the idea. So now I actually have a rock in the title of the story. And I want to do this. I'm going to draw blades of grass at the bottom of the letters. So if this was something more permanent, I would actually go in and kind of clean up and have the grass kind of infiltrate the letter itself. And then I'll draw the rest of the grass here. So it looks like the word is actually sitting inside like a bed of grass. Isn't that cool? And then up here, I can do some fun things like we'll put a couple of cross hatches here. Just to give it some texture. And I could take this and I could trace it. Or if I do a really clean job, I could scan it and get rid of that highlight yellow. I could put a nice heavier contour on here like so. And really kind of give some weight, some mass to this word. And now, so not only do we have a pretty slick looking title for our story, but it has information in the word that reflects directly on the story that we're preparing to tell. Isn't that fun? So, we can use the highlighter, and then once you get to a point where you're actually really good at this, you don't really need to use the highlighter anymore. You can kind of just sketch things out and have a little bit of fun. But I think this is pretty neat, and it would work really nicely for my story. And maybe you guys can come up with something unique for your own. All right, so thanks so much for watching. And, it's Will Eisner week. We're going to do something special again tomorrow for you guys. And we're still going to run Sequential Arts tomorrow night, the workshop. And then we have Drawing and Painting for Teens. We're going to do something specific. We're going to shift off of our long-term project. We're going to work on something very fun and unique during that class as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Check out freelunchstudios.com, freelunchcomics.com, or Free Lunch Studios on Instagram and on Facebook and even TikTok. Yes, Dwight has full reign of the TikTok page for all you kids out there. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great night.